Hi, welcome to my first video. I made other first videos before. They weren't good. They just had to do with not racing stuff. It was when I tried to make a a gaming channel. Um, but yeah, this is my first video. This wasn't meant to be my first video, actually. I had originally planned an iRacing stream I didn't download the video. Um, but I mean, if you want an idea of how it usually goes, here's a clip of it.
Backed up here. Oh my gosh. Holy.
But yeah, first video. Uh, I'm hopefully going to be doing this more. If you want to see me stream, I probably won't do it. Not very often with it. But if you do want to see me stream, I'll put a link to it down in the description. Follow, turn on notifications so you can figure out when I'm live. And if you want as well, subscribe to this channel. It would mean a lot. Turn on notifications, like the video. I'll try to post as much as I can whenever I feel like it, mostly. Yeah, I hope you enjoy. So the IndyCar season has been going on for a while now, and so far the biggest upset at the moment is Alex Palou dominating, giving Max Verstappen 2023, and the fact that we only had two cautions between the first lap of St. Pete and whatever lap it was at IMS. But yeah, those are the big upsets that have been happening so far in the season. And the second biggest upset right now, third actually, sorry, forgot the flag. The third biggest upset is the Indy 500, which, as a race fan and a Indy car fan, I'm excited. I'm always excited for the Indy 500. My family's always excited for the Indy 500. I can never get enough of it, especially after going last year with that hell of a race. How can I not? But today I wanted to focus more on what I think the 500 would look like, my prediction, what would happen, who will win, you know. And bear in mind, this is being made Wednesday the 14th, aka second practice of the 500. So this is basically being made off of speculations. It's basically just speculations. But I thought I'd chime in, give my thoughts. I'll probably end up changing it at some point because, like I said, second day of practice. Most likely I'll change it after qualifying. But if I don't, that means I'm staying true to my ideas, my speculations. But yeah, so yeah, let's get into it. So, the first thing I wanted to talk about more so was the race itself and how I think it's going to play out. Because, last year, a little thing happened. 3 hours of no race. Like I said, I was there when it started, specifically, when that started. I had to sit under the bleachers for, like 3 hours, as long as it was. It wasn't fun, I will say. It wasn't that fun, but in the end it was worth it. But with that 3 hour wait came a lot of stuff that really isn't normal for the race, and especially the drivers, which I think the biggest thing being track temperature, which of course that's not the only thing that ended up being different about this race. I mean, a lot of stuff I feel like was changed, but I feel like that's one of the more bigger aspects. That's my opinion, personally. But I think with how the track temperatures were and how the drivers, like the mindset the drivers were in, waiting so much longer for the race than they had to, the race itself was very chaotic. And I mean, with how the race ended up happening, yeah, that was bound to happen. But from what I've seen so far, it doesn't seem like we're gonna have any sort of delay or issue like that. So, first prediction, I don't think the race is going to be anywhere near as chaotic as it was last year. I mean, it really was. Lap 1, turn 1 crash was insane, and then I'm pretty sure it happened again on the restart. I'd have to rewatch to make sure, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be anywhere near as chaotic. That's my first prediction. It's a very, very minor one, but honestly, I thought I'd give my 6 cents on it. Is that the right? I don't know if that's the right saying. I mean, I don't know. There's that. Something else I wanted to kind of touch up on, which isn't really prediction, more so I just kind of wanted to talk about it, was the fact, like, not the fact, the matter of the hybrid system being used in the 500. It's been voiced more so vocally by my personal favorite driver, Pano Award, that he feels, and as he said, many other drivers, even veterans, they feel that the hybrid system kind of takes away from what happens in the race and how it's raced by the drivers. And I think this is really interesting because it's not something we as viewers can necessarily see, because we're not in the cockpit with them. We're not in the car driving it, feeling it. We don't know what it is. We didn't know it put on as much weight as they said it did. But I think this is going to be interesting, in all honesty, because with how technical the 500 is, which for how technical it is than you think, I think we're probably going to be seeing a lot different driving. But I don't know specifically what. My main thing is that I just hope we don't get like NASCAR style trains, which isn't really a bad thing. I get why they do that, but I'm kind of hoping we don't really get NASCAR style trains, like just lines of cars going throughout the track, barely any overtakes. But at the same time, I also don't think we're going to be seeing any wild, ballsy overtakes like we did last year, and honestly, years before that. I am a little disappointed that the hybrid system, while all in good, don't get me wrong. Okay, let me rephrase. Somewhat all in good, don't get me wrong. I feel like the hybrid system is kind of, in a way, ruining the racing for the drivers, in that keeping the cause and effect going, ruining it for the viewers as well. I just kind of feel like there has to be some way you could fix that issue, I guess, make it better than it is. But yeah, I'm really curious how it's going to affect the 500. It may not. I may just be losing my mind right now. I could be spitting absolute nonsense. But at the same time, I'm doing this completely off script. I don't have anything like written down planned. I'm doing this completely up here. So I honestly don't even know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's my take on that. If you don't disagree, I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm pretty much rambling here. There's that. Might as well jump into it now, just that way I don't lose it later. Which I have it pulled up on my second monitor here. There's really no point in showing it just because it's not much. I have the times from the practices pulled up because I wanted to give my live predictions and thought process of who I think at this moment will win the 500 this year, which I already have a couple thoughts in mind, and they're very basic thoughts. First up being obviously at least, Joseph Newgarden. I mean, he has incredible pace, second fastest in first practice, third fastest in second practice, setting average 39-second laps, 226, 225 miles per hour. I mean, he's proven 2 years in a row already he is a fast driver. I mean, he's in a small-ish group of people who have won back-to-back 500s, and that in and of itself is special. I mean, it's nowhere near as special as the four-time club, yeah, but it's still an accomplishment in the end. You have to give that to him, even if you don't like him for his events in St. Pete last year. I mean, you have to give that to him, that he's a good driver, and he proved it 2 years in a row. And I honestly think he has a chance of doing it this year, and I think he has the mentality that could help that too, because he's been vocal about it. He wants to win. He wants to make history. And honestly, I don't blame him. There are so many drivers here that want to make history. And I mean, I'll be touching up on one here in a second, but he has that mentality of, I want to do this, I need to do this. And he has a team to back him up. Penske is an incredible team. I will say I think they help Joseph more than the others. But yeah, I think he has a very good chance at winning a third and making himself the first driver in history to win back-to-back. Yeah, I think he is a very strong contender. Another strong contender, honestly, I say this all year, so it very well could just be copium. I think Will Power, at the moment, has some good pace going. Again, Penske, they're good. But his practice times, he got first in first practice with a 39.6, 227 miles per hour. He got first. And then second, behind Alex Palou, with a 39.8, 225. So, like Joseph, he dropped down in both time and speed. But practice is for testing these different setups, finding what's right for the driver. I think even considering the fact these are different setups, he's setting top 3 times, along with Joseph Newgarden. He's doing a really good job right now, I will say. And this isn't full push. We all know this. This is not full push. They are testing. This is the whole point of practice. I mean, sort of. This is more so practice for the drivers to get a feel for what they are doing. They are not going to full push all the time. And I think these are the times where they are not full pushing. And with them setting top 3 times, especially Will Power, because he's been kind of, I feel like, off in the 500 lately. Him setting top 3 times so far, I think it's promising, and I think it will allow us to see another 500 win for Will Power, which I honestly think would be very good. I've heard some people that I know say they don't like Will Power. I do. I think he's cool. I think he's a good driver. So I'd love to see him get another win. It would be very nice. Now, I will say, this isn't prediction, this is me just saying, Alex Palou being the top for practice 2, for second practice, and the third for first practice, I don't think says a lot. I'm gonna be honest. He tends to not have... Let me fix what I'm about to say. He has speed. He has the speed to do this. He has shown that all this year, winning every single race. He's even had people on his ass until he stops that. But he will have people on him, pressuring him, and somehow he still pulls seconds off of them. Not milliseconds, seconds. So he shows he has the speed. He has the pace. Over the pace, honestly. But from what I've seen personally in the seasons, the 500, any oval race, in all honesty, I feel like they tend to not have the oval strategy. I think Alex Palou and Penske, with Alex Palou, tend to strive further in the road courses. And I feel like that's very much shown in the 500. He tends to not finish. He finishes all right, but he tends to be behind. I feel like he's not really a talking point in the race, besides the fact he's leading the championship, and this year he's leading. He's won every race. But I honestly think I believe honestly that this is going to be the race that breaks his streak, because he just never seems to really have it. He doesn't. I'll be honest. I don't think these times really say much, knowing what their strategy looks like. And I know that kind of sounds hypocritical because of what I said with Power and Newgarden, but they have good strategies. Did I say Penske earlier? I said Penske. I meant Chip Ganassi. I'm gonna act like I didn't say Penske. Anyways, I know that sounds hypocritical with what I said with Power and Newgarden, but they do. You can see, especially Newgarden 2 in a row, they have the strategy. They know what they're doing. Pelot's team just doesn't seem to have that, which honestly I do think is unfortunate, because he is such a strong contender in the 500. They just need to get their strategy down, which they very well could this year. I'm gonna let them decide. But from what I've seen, I don't think he's really in a spot to contend. But like I said, that could change. Now, my next prediction, and maybe last one, I'm not sure, is honestly kind of a bold choice, but seeing times, it could happen. And that's Elio Castroneves, which this also could be Copium, I'm going to be honest. This was the other history maker I was talking about earlier. Elio, as he's famously known, is in the 4-time club in the 500. He is one of 4 drivers to win the Indianapolis 500 4 times. Hence the name 4-time club. No shit. So he has proven himself time and time again that he's an excellent driver. I mean, he's with Joseph in the back-to-back club. I guess that's what I'll call it, back-to-back club. He's in with Joseph in the back-to-back club too. So he's proven he's a great driver. And he's also proven he hasn't lost that in the 2020s. He won his 4th race in 2021. So he has that pace, and his team has that strategy. I just think they need to get that lucky stride. Oh, I shook my camera. Oh god. But yeah, I think they just need to get that lucky stride to be able to push themselves to the win. I think it's possible. I think they can do it if they play their cards right, and if the dealer doesn't fuck them over. So far his times are average 40s with 2:24 in practice 2 and 2:24 in practice 1. So he's average. So from what I'm seeing here, it seems like they're not really done much setup work, and if they have, it's minimal at best. But practice 2, he got 6 fastest, and then 8th fastest, and sorry, let me rephrase. Practice 1, 6th fastest. Practice 2, 8th fastest. So he's in the top 10 in speed at the moment. They're obviously going to end up going faster. I mean, come on. Like, it's in their blood. But I think, from what I'm seeing currently, and what I know they can do, if they get a good hand and play their cards right, we have a very good chance at seeing bigger history being made than honestly anything that's probably ever happened at this track. 5 times. Like, if you don't watch the 500, you probably don't think 4 times is a big deal, which it is. 5 times, no one's done it. It's a huge deal. I mean, yeah, Joseph Newgarden 3 back-to-back wins. That's also a huge deal. But I feel like this is more. 5 times winning the 500. You have that much talent to win 5 times in the span of decades. Like, you are a legend if you can do that. He's already a legend for winning 4 times. He's up there with the greats. But if he manages to do it 5 times, which he could, I think we could see by far the GOAT, the unchallengeable GOAT of IndyCar, of the Indy 500. But I think he has a great chance. It's just a matter of how things work out. Now here's my one that I will say this is a prediction. I think this could very well happen, but it's the most copium out of literally anyone in this entire field, especially because his times haven't been too great, like at all. But like I said, this is them testing different stuff. I know one other person's gonna feel the same about my idea. Pato O'Rourke. Now, I do think other people are going to feel the same about him that I do. They feel the same way I do about him. Pato O'Rourke has Pato O'Rourke has a very good chance at doing this, and he's proven he can. He just doesn't get to prove it enough with the field he's been given, and also luck. That's a huge factor in this. But 2022 against Marcus Ericsson, runner-up. 2023, almost runner-up until he crashes. 2024, almost won the race until turn 3, last lap, and gets passed. That hurt. And for some reason I was celebrating it. But that hurt. Looking back on it now and thinking about it, it hurts. 3 times he lost a chance at winning the Indianapolis 500. Barely. He has the pace. And like I said, this very well could be the most copium that could ever come out of me because he is my favorite driver. But I honestly think that he has a chance. And I'm going to keep saying this until he wins. I will. Or until he ends up falling off horribly. But I think he has a chance to win the 500. And this is so much hope. And I'm going to say it. I hope he wins the 500. He is my number one. He's been my number one. And, you know, everyone has number one. This is mine. I hope he wins. I think he has a chance of winning. He is definitely a contender for who could win the 500. And really, that's about it for that. I think there are a lot of drivers that have a chance. I really do. But in the end, this is racing. And racing is never cut and dry. Racing is never one deal. You know, first person, this isn't Monaco. Whoever gets pulled doesn't win the race. You know, that's not how that works. Especially in the 500, anything can happen. I mean, shit show last year. Amazing shit show, but shit show last year. You know, everything that could have happened. You know, and it's just, it is a great example of how motorsports is, in that you could say you think something's gonna happen, and it very well couldn't. Something could happen that completely derails your predictions, and I'm willing to accept that. I really am. But from what I'm currently seeing, I think those are the biggest contenders for the 500. Again, I will probably end up making an update video on this, after qualifying, given times change and, you know, we see better performance out of certain drivers. I don't really have any honorable mentions, I feel like, except for a couple. I think all of these drivers have a very good chance at winning the 500. It's just a matter of luck, strategy, and how they handle situations. But those are my top 4. Those are my big predictions. I know a lot of it probably made absolutely no sense. But like I said, I'm rambling up here. It's going in, coming out. But still, I hope you enjoyed first video of the channel, and, you know, it's just something I'm really passionate about, and I enjoy talking about this stuff and getting to make a platform and a fan base that also enjoys the same stuff and is willing to talk about it with me. Means a lot. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I'm gonna put links to my Twitch and TikTok down in the description if you want to follow that too. It would mean a lot. It really would. If you could also subscribe to the channel, it would mean a lot. I'll try to post as often as I can. For the Twitch, I probably won't be streaming until F125 comes out. I have early access to that because of pre-order, so I'll be streaming that when that comes out, and most likely making a video. So there's another reason to subscribe. If you don't want to watch the stream, you can see the video. But other than that, yeah, I really hope you enjoyed. I plan on doing this a lot more, and yeah, so yeah.